how do you, like, and you're extremely prolific. I mean, you're constantly making new patches and designs.
No,
How do
it's
you
impressive
maintain?
I
stuff.
just,
I was going to ask that
Yeah,
too. It's like, I don't want to do the 4 hour work week thing. I'm just curious how you spend your day just because
yeah,
you don't even work with
well,
a partner.
I don't know. I guess I'm really lucky because I really, I'm really passionate about it and I enjoy it, but I'm also kind of competitive. So I always want to, and there's also the whole thing about money and you got to pay your bills. Um, I don't know. I guess I try and treat my life like it's like, like I try to, like it's a 9 to 5, but I usually work like 10 hours a day. And but I think that's kind of normal if you're running your own business to, I take Sundays off, but sometimes I don't get that. So it's a lot of work, but if you like it and you're passionate about it, you can do it. And I have a studio, so like I can, you kind of separate the home from work as much as possible. And so, yes, I don't know.
so in the
You just
morning you wake
gotta
up,
like what you do.
you go to your studio, right?
Uh-huh.
And you kind of have a regimen where you're at the studio. You kind of make it like you have an actual off, you have a boss
Hmm.
even though you don't, and you kind of go
Well,
through
I
your
actually
stuff.
have, sorry to cut you off. I have many bosses. I
Right,
consider every customer to be a boss,
right.
which is because sometimes I'm very
Yeah.
lucky. I haven't had that many upset customers, but some people can be very rude if they don't get what
Oh,
they want.
yeah, I've dealt with that.
And it's just
But
some people need more attention, but I think customer service is extremely important.
is most of your time then spent on the customer service and sales side, or is it more design, or how would you describe it?
Um, Majority of my time probably spent doing like production because I make everything and I have to cut them. And I guess technically I should have someone help me, but I very much like I'm not the most organized person. I don't know. So it depends. Like some days, I mean, when I get to design things, that's like really like my fun time, but that's not a lot of the time. Um, so I get to do that, and then you have to, you do your sales, you do whether it be like I try to do the busy stuff in the morning, respond to emails, um, and then figure out what orders because I do a lot of wholesale or custom work is my main source of income, and then online sales. Really, they're good, but they're like it's not the best out of all three of them.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends. Well, it's like fulfilling orders or whatnot, but so
So
Yeah.
wholesale and
depends on the
custom
week.
work, someone will see one of your designs and say, "Hey, I want like 200 of those for my shop."
Yeah, I thought this one was a pretty interesting. I think I can talk about. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it now. Well, it's
Okay.
live, so I think I can, but I had to sign one of those NDAs. But it's basically, they're a food company or a food business, and they're because of COVID and all their establishments are shut down. So they're doing a lot more delivery, and so they're trying to do like a giveaway thing, where if you order pizza, you potentially if you order food, you potentially get a chance to get like a piece of art with the food. And
Oh,
so
cool.
it's just like it's a good way for it's the marketing, trying to get more business and more. They want the emails, so more of that. So I forget the question. I don't know. I'm kind of ranting.
No, that
No,
was
that
Oh, so I
great.
was
was focused on doing that a lot for a
yeah. We just
while.
wanted an example of a wholesale patch
Oh, right, right,
sales
right. So
situation, which you gave us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, if we want to get more into the details of it from the design standpoint, you have to first, they start to email you, reach out, and then you get on the phone, you talk to them, and it's super important. Take lots of notes. What does the client want? What for their vision? What do they want? Like, why are they coming to you? Like, what do you have to offer them too? And then you have to do, I like to present my drafts, and I also like sometimes clients will be like, well, I like what you do, can you just do this, or like, I don't know, I need a new logo, and I try to like push them to like give me something because you can't read someone's mind. So whether it's like, what colors do you like, what sort of font, like, do you have an example, or like what are some like adjectives, and then I present the designs to the client, and then they decide, oh, we don't like these ones, we like this one, can you do more? And so I do more designs for the client. And normally this is, at least for me, like I haven't seen a cent yet because I'm still trying to like get that actual order in, and we're still in the negotiation. Like I'm telling them how much I'll charge and they're agreeing to it. But I normally only do this if it's like someone that I know that like if they don't pay me, then I can like attack them in some way, you know, I'll get my money eventually. You
Yeah,
never do work for completely free.
we talk a lot about that, how to not do free
Yeah.
design work because it's really risky.
Yeah, because I used to like charge for custom design. I had a fee up front, but I found a lot of people like would just be like, oh, they would just walk away immediately. So then I kind of had to work that into my pricing, and then it's like changed. And I've only had like maybe one or two people like not pay, but it was for small jobs, and it was just kind of like, you know, lesson learned. But yeah, and then you actually make the design, then you make the product, and then, you know, it's really important for me for, you know, I like to package everything, like having my brand on it, you know, because you want more people to see your name so they come back to look at your stuff. And so then it's like trying to negotiate that, and then you sign the contracts, and then you get the payment. So it's, well, there's a lot of steps to making stuff happen. But
That's interesting. So it's the wholesale and it's the custom work that's really saved the day. But what was really interesting about your process is it seems like you're getting a tremendous amount of production value out of this niche. You have your own machine, right? Which we should talk about a little bit more, which is amazing, right? Unless we shouldn't talk about it, of course. But
that's fine.
And then these patches, or even that poster that you just showed us, the velvet poster. You could just roll them up and put them in the mail, and it's super cheap to mail them too, right? So
yeah, it's pretty. Well, actually, these are going to be on wood.
Oh, cool.
So you can't roll them. But yeah, so I'm lucky because my machines are expensive, but that's an investment that you make up front. But the actual like the cost of goods to make a patch is like really nothing. But but I'm making everything myself, and you have to like also like include your time, you know, and your value, and
your design expertise, of course. I mean, there's a lot of value in that, right?
Yeah. Oh, and then the client that I just had with the patch designs, they ended up buying just like the graphic work on top of like graphic work from the draft on top of the patches, because it's also important to like, as a designer, or like, you have to sell yourself and sell everything you can offer. So it's like, I have these vector files that if you want to buy these and own rights to them, you can, because I'm not going to be able to use them for anything else.
Right.
So it's like, you know, you got to hustle.
Nice.
Of course.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I think
really so now you have multiple machines.
Yeah, I have two machines.
Okay.
So when I was taking your class, I had a single needle machine, and now my machines, I'm not at my studio right now, but they're 10 needle, and they're about 100 pounds, and they have like almost like an iPad to it that you program.
Wow.
They're loud, but one of them is a real, it's giving me a lot of grief, but you know, you got to figure out a way to make it work, and you do.
And they're super cool because you're going from the digital to the physical, which I think is one of the coolest things ever, right? So
it is.
You're creating it. Actually, you're also scanning stuff in. So you're sometimes going physical, digital, back to physical again? Or?
Yeah. You can look at it that way. And then there's even a scanner in my machine that can scan your fabric to figure out where exactly you want the design to go. Like, some people refer to they say it's kind of similar to like a CAD machine.
Yeah.
So, and it works because it's appealing to people who are like interested in like, you know, the tech field, because it's just cool technology. And then it's also appealing to people who like the like handmade sort of like vintage look, because I am able to draw my stitches and designs to look that sort of way. And when I cut things, you know, like hand cut, so it gives it a little bit more character than like if you got it manufactured at a different place.
Have you ever considered that? I'm sure you had to consider it at different times. Like, what's this kind of state of doing stuff like that? Is it only really big type of
well, you can do it. So I have done it because but I realized, and then when I took my business planning class, like that was something I kind of talked about in my business. Like, I thought I would do that and have that be like my way to get wholesale, but like they really don't look as good. And I feel like it kind of loses the sort of like what personality that my product has, that my customers are coming to me for. And I think it just like I got pins like of certain graphics made at a factory. So I sell those, but like people really just want the embroidery stuff. So I'm just trying to think of like other ways to use my machines and make a product that's going to cost a little bit more, but it's not going to be so much time, like not so much cutting for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could easily get them made somewhere else and just, but maybe I'm being stubborn, but I don't want to do that.
No, I mean, it sounds like the quality is not quite as good, or there's something that you lose. I
probably could have be making like, I feel like there's other brands that start, with patches or pins, and then they expand doing like shirts, and like they're more like focused as like an artist selling their work in other forms. But I don't want that for myself, I don't think. I don't know if it's smart.
I don't know.
But it's what I want.
Yeah, all that custom printing, computer-aided printing stuff is so fascinating. Just in every field, it's like woodworkers use it now for the CNCs, and then even people that are just into scrapbooking and all that are using those cutting machines. I'm having a horrible relationship with a drawing robot right now. So I feel like a drawing robot. It just draws with a pen. So.
Oh wow, it's not working well.
No, I feel your pain on having to debug these crazy machines.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the times, like the troubleshooting, like there's not a lot of help out there. Like it's just